FACES is a ministry dedicated to the eradication of child labor in Ecuador, South America. The ministry has grown in 15 years to be blessed with a property located near the center of the town of Sangolquí, outside of Quito. The facility features a high school and computer center, employing 11 school staff. There is office space for the administration of 6 social projects with 21 staff members. There is a completely new feeding center featuring a multi-purpose room, kitchen, and storage. Recreational areas complete the campus that currently serves over 500 children and families. When the Susongs arrived in Ecuador in 2003, their prayer was, "Lord, break our hearts over what breaks your heart." And their hearts were broken when God placed a group of shoeshine boys in their path. They learned that Ecuador, although not the poorest country in South America, had a high percentage of child workers. 1 million out of a population of 13 million people. As Teresa began to sit with the sweet little rambunctious shoeshine boys on the street corners where they worked, she learned more and more about their plight. That many of them were from the indigenous group, the Quichuas, that they had emigrated from their communities as far as 5 hours away to work on the streets, that they lived in small concrete rooms, often with little or no adult supervision. She learned that they were caught in a cycle of poverty that involved school abandonment and a future of informal work in construction or in the outdoor markets of Ecuador. God began to place a love in her heart and a strategy in her mind for making a difference in this little corner of the world. As God began to develop the ministry, Teresa, Dan, and their children, Drew and Lydia, found places to meet with the shoeshine boys in parks and borrowed facilities. God brought volunteers and funds to provide the boys with a lunch on Saturdays, along with a Bible lesson and recreation. The message was, if you give your whole heart to God, He will provide all that you need and lead you into His purpose for your life. Before long, the Susongs met other children, boys and girls, who worked after school and on weekends on the streets, climbing on and off the big public buses selling candy and gum. In 2004, Teresa took a retired pastor, E.L. Turner, down to the street to get his shoes shined, and the rest is history. God touched his heart, and Brother Turner and his wife Doris became lifetime supporters of the ministry. The Turners raised thousands of dollars in funding over the next 15 years through many churches of God in the United States, who caught a vision for what God wanted to do in the hearts and lives of the Ecuadorian child laborers. With this financial backing, they established the first FACES Ministry Center, where they provided working children with nutrition in the form of a daily hot lunch, school reinsertion, after-school care, help with homework, learning clubs, and recreation. In 2006, God brought Fabian Valle to be administrator of the FACES Foundation. Fabian, with a degree in business administration and a heart for social services, was fundamental in the establishment of the ministry as a government-approved nonprofit organization and the subsequent development and expansion of the services the ministry offers. Also, about this time, the ministry began a school reinsertion program, eventually founding a high school, New World High School, dedicated to providing a personalized education for adolescents who have to work during the day and study at night. With the financial help of the Cross International Foundation, many certified teachers with a heart for the special needs of working adolescents have collaborated over the years in the New World High School. In order to reach the families and further disciple the youth and children, they founded a church that meets in the ministry center on Sundays. God continued to express on the Susongs different strategies to use to bring an end to child labor. In 2007, they began to make trips to the mountain villages where the children originated from, to meet their parents and learn more about the children's reality. with assistance through a private company, Fundación Telefónica. They were finally able to start various prevention projects designed to assist the families with the cost of their children's education, keep them in school, and turn the tide on the emigration of the children to the cities to work. In 2011, the ministry was able to expand into the jungle region of Ecuador and work with the indigenous group, the Shuar. Throughout the years, the ministry has been aided by a multitude of missions teams from various churches of God in the United States, helping to build churches, conducting evangelism campaigns for both families and children, as well as taking medical clinics into the mountain villages and the jungle area. In 2012, the foundation was chosen as a preferred religious organization by the government of Ecuador and began executing projects for the prevention and eradication of child labor in collaboration with the Ministry of Economic and Social Inclusion. Many professionals have collaborated over the years in a holistic program providing social work services, counseling, and spiritual help to working children and their families. In addition, targeting children at risk of child labor has helped to bring down significantly the number of working children in Ecuador. The FACES program, along with the New World High School, has been able to see hundreds of children through their school years to high school graduation and into a brighter future. Through the years, the ministry has sponsored various creative events around the International Day Against Child Labor, such as role reversals, marathons, talent competitions, and forums to call attention to the issue of child labor. The Susongs were blessed to be joined by missionary associates Elaine and Steve Sumner. Over the years, both families had provided alternative living assistance for youth who were found to be going it alone in life. In 2017, the Sumners founded the New Day Foundation to further expand their reach into other areas of risk for Ecuadorian children. The New Day staff, also in association with FACES and the Ministry of Economic and Social Inclusion, is working to develop a foster care system in Ecuador. In 2016, the FACES ministry finally found a permanent home. After years of serving children in parks, borrowed facilities, and rented homes, finally giving the New World School an adequate and government-accredited campus. We give glory to God for the assistance of Church of God World Missions, the Lazarus Foundation, E.L. Turner Ministries, and a host of other North American churches and individuals who made the dream of owning a beautiful property dedicated to serving needy Ecuadorian children a reality. The future could not be brighter for the FACES ministry.